It's Jayo Stole Sports and it's playoff season.
This is where the
Jay
money is
Lynch.
made, man. This is where the
Mhm.
money is made.
Yeah. Jay Lynch is a little more bundled up this episode.
Yeah, I got my hat on, no sunglasses this episode.
Yeah, he's back in the cold, but you already know what time it is. It is NFL playoff edition on Jayo Stole Sports. And let's start off with the All-Pro team that was just announced. Some heavy hitters, obviously, making that team. Lamar, LJ, no surprises there.
hmm
Jettas, Jamar Chase. It looks pretty legit to me. I don't really see any snubs. I'm happy that Kirby Joseph made it because he got snubbed for the Pro Bowl, but guess what? All Pro means more. So he
Right.
shouldn't he shouldn't get too upset. And regardless, I say the Lions are making the Super Bowl, so it's not like he would be at the Pro Bowl anyways.
100%. But now, how do we feel about Lamar Jackson making it over Josh Allen? Does this mean is it almost like pity because they're going to give Josh Allen the MVP, or what do you think it is with that one?
Yeah. Nah, LJ has better numbers. LJ has the better stats. He from the eye test, he looked like the better quarterback. Josh Allen only thing he has over LJ is one win.
hmm
So I think that you mentioned it last episode, and that's just how sports go.
Yeah.
Guys get voter fatigue. You mentioned Embiid got it over Joker.
hmm
Was Embiid ever better than Joker? Was he better than Joker that season? No,
Yeah.
but they just gave it to him. So I think you got it on that one,
hmm
and I agree that all pro you have everything right in front of your face.
Yeah.
All pros are your best players.
Yeah. Exactly.
LJ was the best player. LJ is the best player, but Josh Allen had a great season, and it just feels like Josh Allen is due. So
Yeah.
I still believe Josh Allen's going to get MVP, but
hmm
LJ is the better player.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
I look at the line, the offensive line. I think they nailed it on the head
hmm
with that. The two Chiefs guys,
Yeah.
they got Penny Sewell there.
hmm
I think they got it right. They got
Yeah.
a lot of my Bama boys there. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Surtain.
It's crazy.
Um,
We did we mention, I remember last episode when we were talking about the defensive player of the year
yeah,
and we were talking about Myles Garrett,
we were.
but it's Patrick Surtain that has that locked up,
It
really
seems
and
like it.
truly.
It
Yeah.
seems like that. It seems like Patrick Surtain has it locked up. Probably
Yeah.
going to be the first DB to win it since my boy Gilly Lock. Stephon Gilmore
Yeah.
when he was with my Patriots,
We hit
but
the
no,
Pats. Yeah.
he no Patrick Surtain definitely best corner in the NFL,
hmm
and he's gonna be deserving of this DPOY when they give it end of the season and NFL honors.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention a couple of my Bama boys making it. So I remember we were mentioning all these guys with their podcasts, and it doesn't seem like they're all fully locked in.
hmm
But Marlon Humphrey making first team All Pro, he turned things around this season.
You did.
So
You
I
did.
have to give the guy credit. He turned things around this season, and just that Ravens defense as a unit, as a whole, since week 13, there's a stat that shows them being bottom of the league,
Yeah.
29, 30, 31st in many passing categories, and then from week 13 to the end of the season, first in probably five or more passing defensive stats.
Yeah.
And
And I
he's a
feel
big
like they lost Roquan Smith for a bit. I think he missed a game or two, but either way he was a bit knocked up. And I feel like that had a huge effect on their defense. They
yeah.
weren't playing their best ball in the middle of the season. And as well, they lost
But
Patrick Queen, right? So they
yeah,
lost that middle of their defense and
yeah,
their
yeah.
their leaders. But once Raquan Smith got back, once the whole unit got put together, you saw the difference to the tail end of the season.
Yeah, so and this is a guy in his first year as a defensive coordinator, right? Zach
Yeah.
Orr. So
hmm
for him to turn things around and have his defense first in the league for the last 5, 6 weeks of the season just shows that he can make adjustments. So
Yeah.
big up to Baltimore's defense. what did you think about what did you think about those wide receivers, man? I don't think there's gonna be two guys that are gonna get all pros over Jettas and Chase, man. It's gonna be tough going forward.
Yeah, it really is. Like again, we're in a league where we're seeing receivers come out of nowhere, right? We saw a guy like Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
finish top five in receiving yards,
yeah,
right? So every year there's going to be a standout receiver, and it's competitive, right? We have Mike Evans going for 1,000 yards year in year out, right? And having that big moment against the Saints. So it's tough, right? We see these receivers putting up monster numbers, but again, a guy like Jettas, a guy like Chase, like you're not moving those guys out of those spots, like really
yeah.
and truly. It's gonna
Uh,
be take it's gonna take a guy like Tyreek Hill, but he had a down year, right? And he's
yeah.
out. He's gonna
He's
find
out.
his he
He's
said
gone.
peace. He said,
He
yo,
buffed this.
I'm out of here, right? And
Sun's
it's not working
not
out.
hot enough in Miami.
It's not hot enough. It's not hot enough. So it is what it is, but maybe if we see Tyreek Hill go back to his homeboy, we never know. But again, Jettas and Chase right now,
Yeah.
they're locked in,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I don't see anyone really moving them out of those two spots, really, truly.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Saquon, obviously, Saquon's another MVP candidate. You know, anytime
Yeah,
you go over 2,000, you're MVP candidate, no matter
yeah,
what. And even if he doesn't get it, which more than likely he won't, offensive player of the year is his.
locked
So
up. They have to give it
yeah,
to him. Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, man, I wanted to talk about the AFC North real quick. So tonight we have LJ versus Russell Wilson and the Steelers.
hmm
And we're gonna get into these games, of course, but I wanted to get to this game right away. Okay, to me, it looks like Russell Wilson has no more juice. Looks like he has no gas. If there's a third and long, he's not gonna get it with his legs.
hmm
He does. It seems like he is lost when it comes to clock management. You've seen that at the end of the game against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Let me throw something out there. I feel like you must know what I'm gonna say.
hmm
In this league, in the NFL, when you don't see a quarterback for a long time, you got exposed because you're not prepared for him.
Yeah.
When you don't see a quarterback in the NFL ever, like for example, CJ Stroud last year,
hmm
Jaden Daniels this year, a rookie
hmm
quarterback, you
Yeah.
don't know what you're getting with them, right? So you've seen Russell Wilson come into the lineup, Steelers 4-2, wins four straight games.
hmm
Nobody knew what he would look like in a Steelers uniform. But Russell Wilson is lacking lately. And this Steelers team has no momentum. You have to, man. You have to throw Justin Fields in there, man. I know how crazy you have to throw Justin Fields. Okay. I need your input, but like I'm gonna just go off the last five games. Russell Wilson passing yards and completion percentage. Last week versus Bengals, 54.8 completion percentage, 148 passing. Christmas versus Steelers, 62.2 completion percentage, 205 passing. December 25th versus Ravens, 66.7 completion percentage, 217 passing. Eagles, 63.6, 128 passing. Browns, 57.7, 158 passing. He's
hmm
not showing you that he could throw the ball down the field anymore, and he is not gonna improvise.
Yeah.
Improvisation, Russ, is long gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know what I'm
When
saying?
he's scrambling in the
No.
backfield, buying time, and then finding an open receiver, that's not happening anymore. Again, it's looking like at Russ, like you said, right? And we mentioned it previously in that last episode, right? They figured him out,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah,
went from studying Justin Fields and how the offense looks like under Justin Fields, and they struggled with that because they were doing well as an offense, right? They went to Russ, they didn't know what that looked like, but now they figured it out.
we figured it
Either
out.
going to run the ball, dump it off to Jalen Warren or Najee Harris, or they're just going to surprise you with a play action deep ball. And
Yeah.
they have all that covered. That's all he has. He doesn't have that improvisation where he's he's scrambling right, scrambling left, breaking a tackle, and waiting till a receiver gets open. He wants to get rid of the ball. He just wants the play to be over with, right? And he's just not thinking. So I think you're right. I feel like they have to put in a field, whether it's a fields package or just I don't know how
Just
if the game's going bad, we're going field the rest of the way.
yeah. I
You know what I
think
mean?
I think you have to go with Fields. Like, I know Mike Tomlin's probably not going to start him, but yeah, if the first two drives are sus,
Yeah.
you have to bench that guy, man.
Yeah, and it's a bad weather game. I don't
Yeah,
know it they're going to be able to pass the ball,
yeah.
and you know what's happening on the other side of the ball. You got LJ, you got Derrick Henry
Mm,
running the ball consistently. So they're only going to have to match that with doing the same, right? You have
yeah,
Najee Harris, who's been doing well running the ball this year, and you have a guy like Justin Fields, who knows what he can bring. You
yeah,
know he has the legs, and
yeah.
you know he can scramble, buy you some time, and maybe George Pickens would like this because clearly him and Russie are on the same page right now.
So George Pickens, how bad last week?
What -1 yards? Like what did he have?
Three
And
drops.
to the fact that he didn't finish with 1,000 yards is a damn shame.
Three drops. That's not wide receiver one
No,
stuff right there.
no, not at all.
It's simply not good enough, man.
Not at
It's
all.
simply not good enough. Let's stay in the AFC North.
Hmm.
We just got news recently. A guy, a
Yeah,
very wealthy guy,
yeah.
Deshaun Watson, tore his Achilles again. And before we get into what the Cleveland Browns are gonna do next, obviously there hasn't been a story that dropped yet how it occurred.
Hmm.
But oh man, it's gonna be sticky, man. When we figure it out, it's gonna be sticky.
Hey
'Cause I
man,
have
all
a
I know, I seen a lot of videos of him and his little
Yup, they're
girlfriend,
doing this traveling stuff.
a lot of traveling, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
dancing, a lot of
Yup.
TikToks here and there. I don't. He looked good there, but I don't know. One bad step, and there
Yup.
it goes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not believing it for one bit. Whether
Okay.
what other story they put out there, I know what happened here. I know what happened here.
Yeah.
Some excursion. Let's call it that. Some excursion.
All right, but regardless, we got the news. If it was, if this is real, if it's not, if it was on purpose, if it was accidental, Cleveland Browns, they have a problem on their hands, and that is a quarterback issue. There are
Hmm.
two quarterbacks that are blue chips, probably separate themselves from the rest,
Hmm.
and Cleveland have the number two spot in the draft. Do you think the Cleveland Browns go with the quarterback no matter what? And they're in a kind of unique position because more than likely the Titans are going to take a quarterback, so they're going to be forced to take the next quarterback.
Hmm.
Do they do you see them going with a quarterback no matter what? Or do you see them doing something interesting, something that the Cleveland Browns would do and probably go with like say a Travis Hunter?
Man, whoever ends up getting drafted by Cleveland, there, I just don't see them having success.
Mm.
Whether they go with a Shadir,
Mm-hmm.
whether they go with Travis Hunter, they
Mm-hmm.
won't know what to do with Travis Hunter. They just
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't know what to do, and it just will be a bad situation. And it just, I hopefully they look at it as like we're just not going to be good anytime soon.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can get the best O line or build something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I know there's one or two top O linemen in the draft. Maybe
Yeah.
they go defensive end,
Kelvin
knowing
Banks
that
is good
Miles
from
Garrett
Texas.
is. I don't know. Maybe he's on his way out, or maybe they want to, go be that dog pound that has that defensive unit that just plays good defense and like tries to run the ball with Nick Chubb, right? So
Yeah.
I just don't think it'll be in their best interest to avoid getting someone like Shadir Sanders or Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it works out because Dion's not going to be happy about the situation,
He's gonna
and
probably
they're not
block
going to be
it.
happy either. So I feel like it's in their best interest to just go with a boring pick, but like an O lineman or a D lineman, and just see where that gets them.
So
Really and truly.
not even a Cam Ward, huh?
No, I think really and truly, my hot take is I just don't think it's a good quarterback draft.
Yeah.
Really and truly, like we see a guy like Carson Beck, that was supposed to be a first round top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Now he can't. He has to go back to school and say, "Yo, I'm gonna go hang out with my shawty out
Yeah,
in
my
Miami." You know what I
the
mean? So it's
you.
so he has big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
With Cam Ward being
Hmm.
in on the top, maybe the first pick in the draft, and then him going there trying to fill those shoes. I don't think he's focused on football anyway. So that's another story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, back to what I said. I don't think it's a strong quarterback draft.
Right.
So for Cleveland to put all their balls in a bucket to take Cam Ward or Sanders, I just don't think it'll be in their best interest because I don't think either one of those players changes their franchise.
Okay. I think Shador goes number one regardless.
Mm,
Um, yeah, number two, I'm not sure. So for Cleveland, I think they have to go for Cam Ward.
yeah,
Kevin Stefanski, we spoke about this many times. Kevin Stefanski has shown that he can make the most of a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Until that quarterback gets to their old ways, gets
true.
to their old habits.
Yeah.
He's had success with Jameis. He's had
Hmm.
success with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
This
That's true.
DTR guy, I don't know why he's still on the roster.
Yeah.
Um,
Somehow,
I'm,
some way.
I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know what is so good about this guy to keep him on the roster.
So maybe he's like their tanking mechanism. You know, when they need a tank, throw him in there. We need to lose some games. So that could be that. They
Like,
ended up with the second pick, so he
yeah,
did his
no,
job, right?
yeah, it was a splendid job. But I think you have to go Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Evan Stefanski, he's a quarterback guru. Um, Jerry Judy had a big year, and
Yeah.
Njoku's there. I
Yeah.
I can't see them going with another pick. I know their organization is crappy. I know there's just a lot of weird things that go around there,
Yeah.
but Cam Ward has to be the guy they go with.
Can you see
I
them trading it? Trading that number two pick, trading back with maybe the Giants. If somehow uh Shooter doesn't go number one, and maybe Travis goes number one.
yeah.
And then Shooter's there at two, trade back with the Giants,
The
get their
reason,
pick, and possibility,
yeah,
right?
no, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. The reason I think top two quarterbacks will go top two in the draft
Yeah,
is
one and
just
two. Yeah.
because 1, 2 is just because it seems like the Titans are all but done with Will Levis. You
Hmm.
can't be that inconsistent. You can't be throwing that many pick sixes.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. It's a copycat league. So
Hmm.
once the Titans see that Shador has been taken by the Titans, then the Browns are just going to be like, oh, damn, we got to take a quarterback now, too. So
Yeah.
that's just my thoughts on what's going to happen with the draft and where I think Shador's going to go,
Hmm.
one, and where I think Cam's going to go, two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, but
But
that our conversation was so much different just a week ago, man. Like we are talking about 12, who's gonna win number 12? We're talking about what
guy
do you
has
want
to
with that
go
number one
there.
pick?
Guy has to go there.
Oh man, my condolences, man. Like I know it happens, all you gotta do is lose to the second ranked team in the AFC, but you just
I think there was some miscommunications going on there because I don't see how he gets fired. For him to win that game, I think he was coaching for his life there. Because I'm pretty sure you have the number one pick. You know you can get a generational type talent. You lose that game. But for him to coach for his life to get that win, it's telling me he kind of felt like he was on the hot seat then. In his first year with a team like that,
yeah. I don't know. I don't
like
know.
Robert
I
Kraft
don't
is
know.
becoming Jerry Jones right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
That's despicable, man.
Because
That's
it
horrible.
doesn't make
That's
sense. Because
trash.
he was getting it seems like he was getting fired either way.
Like that's trash.
Yeah.
Your own guy? A guy that was your guy, a guy that's won a Super Bowl for you, a guy that was rookie of the year before,
Hmm.
defensive rookie of the year before. Nah, man.
Doesn't add up.
I lost rating. I lost all ratings for that Kraft guy. Even when on Fox. On Fox. Their pregame, their postgame show, Gronk is there,
Hmm.
all those guys, Strahan, whatever.
Hmm. No, no joy though.
Gronk.
No joy.
Nah, she too busy, you know. You know what she busy doing. But yeah, even Gronk, they asked Gronk about it, and he's like,
Yeah.
this is wrong. This guy didn't have enough time to develop the team. This guy didn't have time to develop as a coach.
Hmm.
Patriots got to do better. And he's going on with the rant on and on. And then until Michael Strahan's like, oh, we have to go to commercial because they know
Hmm.
this guy's talking the truth.
Yeah.
They know, like, come on, man. That's nasty work. Draw mail, like, he doesn't deserve that, bro. And then especially if you're gonna go and hire Vrabel, it's a slap in the face, man. It's a spit in the face.
Well, you think that's what you guys are leaning toward? You think
I
Vrabel's your next
I
coach?
believe they're gonna hire Vrabel. That's what I believe.
Well, they should have done that
Um,
in the first place, to be honest. Like
so
I think
why are you gonna set a man up for failure? Why are you gonna
because
put
you know what it is, the optics. Oh, we hired a black coach.
yeah,
Da, da, da. You know how it goes with black
yeah, of
coaches. It's
course.
quick.
Yeah.
Come in and out, quick. I wouldn't be surprised if Raheem Morris is gone from Atlanta. Like
Yeah.
one more year, max, if that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how it goes, man. Pierce just got fired and Mayo got fired. So yeah, it's a disgrace, bro. It's a
Yep,
disgrace in the NFL when it comes to coaches that look like us.
yep.
Oh,
It is what it is, man. But
yeah,
yeah,
it
like
is.
I don't know who do you want at that number four? Is it you drop all the way to four?
Yeah, it's tough now, man. Now it's
Yeah,
tough. Like, will Travis make it all the way there?
impossible.
More than likely not.
No.
Just because at if two quarterbacks are taken, no other teams are that stupid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So whoever's at three, they're taking Travis no matter what. Because
exactly.
after those two quarterbacks, nobody's really close. And even those two quarterbacks, in other
Hmm.
drafts, they're not going to be top two quarterbacks, right? It's just like the Daniel Jones draft. It was a very weak
Yeah,
draft, but he was a quarterback, and teams need a quarterback every year, and
exactly.
team
You
went
never
for it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, RIP Dwayne Haskins, he got drafted first round also. So you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? It's whatever the year is, however the
Yeah,
year looks. Yeah, so draft is tricky, man. Draft is tricky, so we'll
yeah.
see how it goes. But if there is another guy that I think deserves a chance, I already mentioned this before, it's Brian
Hmm.
Flores, man. Brian
Hmm.
Flores, he deserves another chance, and he's a guy, he's a culture setter, you know? He's a
Yeah,
culture
but
setter.
that's just not happening. We're under Kraft, there's no way. There's
Yeah,
no way.
yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
He deserves another chance in the NFL though.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does for sure.
yeah. What teams are we thinking? Let's go AFC first.
Hmm.
These two top teams in each of their respective conferences, they have byes. Kansas City Chiefs have a bye, and they've been resting for a hot minute, man. They've been resting
Yeah.
for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Who do you think poses the biggest threat to the two-time defending champs?
I feel like the Chiefs are where they want to be right now. No one's talking about them. No reward, no awards to Mahomes. No All Pro. No nothing. Just nice and quiet, nice and easy. But this is their time.
Yeah.
This is their time. They have a bye, and then they play the winner of the Chargers or Houston. Right? Realistically, um, and do I think Chargers, if they win today, could go into Arrowhead and make some noise? No.
Mm-mm.
Do
Mm-mm.
I think Houston could upset the Chargers going to Arrowhead? No, not a chance. This happens in the AFC Championship game, right? Whoever comes out of Buffalo and Baltimore, if that's how we see it, because we definitely see Baltimore versus Buffalo in the next round,
Yeah, yeah,
as it should
yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
And then
100%.
we'll see who wants to show up. Is it going to be Josh Allen, who feels some type of way that he's not the all pro? Or is it Lamar, who says, man, I should be MVP again?
Mm-hmm.
But let
MV3.
me let me show you, right? So really and truly, it's one of those teams, one of the Buffalo or Baltimore. I'm still back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who shows up. Lamar Jackson lost Zay Flowers. I don't know when Zay Flowers comes back. Right?
See?
Will he be back for that Buffalo game,
See
that
what
divisional
happens.
round game? I don't know. How do they look without Zay Flowers? today against Pittsburgh in a tough game, I don't know. So again, really and truly, I am gonna go with I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
Buffalo poses the biggest threat to the
yeah.
Chiefs. I think we get that rematch that we all love to see, that Josh Allen versus Mahomes matchup that we've seen for the past couple of years. And I think maybe Buffalo has what it takes to dethrone them this year. I'm gonna put it out there. Buffalo dethrones the Chiefs
Woo!
and makes it to the Super Bowl this year.
Holy, gee,
That's my take right now, man. We gotta
that's
put it out there, man.
yeah, for sure. No, that's crazy, but damn. You see what happens when you play guys in the last week of the regular season? It happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
that's a
You're
big
already
loss.
you're already in the playoffs. You can beat you can beat that team
Hmm.
without Zay Flowers.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I know Lamar was in the game, but he was doing something historic.
yeah.
4,000 through the air,
Lamar
900,
Jackson, the guy that said
nine,
they should play receiver. That
4,000,
guy.
4,000 in the air, 900 on the turf.
And that
Come
could have been a
on.
stack, but Derrick Henry was back there.
That's fine. Yo, honestly, that is facts. Sheesh, this guy's he's unreal, man.
Yeah,
And the thing is, he's running full speed and then he'll stop on a dime and guys are flying out of bounds.
yeah,
Like every game.
yeah. So you think he's destined to make
I
it
think
to
I
the
think
Super
LJ has
Bowl
it this I think
this
LJ has it this
this
year.
year? I'd
I
love
think
to see it,
LJ
man. I'd
No,
love
no,
to
no,
see it, man.
AFC.
The AFC, yeah,
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 I think LJ has it this year. I think
yeah,
LJ has it this year, man. Um, Look what he's done with Bateman, man. Bateman's
yeah.
catching touchdowns.
I know.
Bateman's
Every
catching
week.
touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think they have what it takes. The defense is firing on all cylinders.
yeah.
You
But
see,
we saw this last
Albano.
year, though. We
Yeah,
saw
I
this
know,
last year.
I
They
know.
look great. They look good. I know they
Yeah,
didn't have Derrick Henry, but
yeah,
like he saw that guy Mahomes across the field from him, and
yeah.
everything just shut down.
That's tough.
Will that happen again? I don't know.
Yeah, see that is very tough. That is tough when you have a killer like Mahomes because guess what? Playoffs, he does this.
Yeah,
He does this in the playoffs. And you're telling me a guy like Travis Kelce can't wake up for 3 games? You definitely can. So, yeah, they're a team that is always gonna be in the game.
yeah,
And they're a team that knows how to win one possession games. That's like all they won this year. But I still got LJ for some reason. I just
yeah.
think it's time. And
So we're both saying the Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl.
right, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
pretty
Well,
much.
I hope Mahomes doesn't hear this one.
All right, like let's go to NFC now. Lions, they weren't playing no games this year. They played all their starters every single game,
Yeah.
even games that didn't matter. Who do you think poses the biggest threat to the Lions in the NFC? I feel like this is an easier question than we could make it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Now
You're
we're
not
making it
wrong.
seem. I'm just saying. And
Yeah,
you know where I'm
I
going and
agree.
what
I
team I
agree.
mean.
I agree. I agree. But for some reason, I think the NFC is more open than the
Hmm.
AFC.
Okay.
Because you look at a team like the Philadelphia Eagles,
Yes.
who I think definitely pose the best threat just on paper.
Same.
Looking at that offense, you got to
Same.
say it. Looking
Of
at their
course.
defense as well, like their defense got better. You know what I mean? It's not the same secondary where last year Tampa Bay was throwing all over them. So the Eagles definitely pose a threat, but we have two wild cards. We have one, the Green Bay Packers. Can the Eagles get by them first? And then
Really? We're going there?
yeah, we
We're
we
not
got we
going
have
there,
to. We
man.
have to. Every year the Green Bay Packers show up. Every year. Every year they show up they cause
Can't
noise.
do this,
We
man.
have to we have to include it. Like I'm sorry, as I don't want to do it, but we have to include it because it's not gonna be easy for the
Mm,
Eagles. I don't think it's gonna be easy. And the Rams and the Vikings. That Monday night game. The Rams are a team. I don't know. They had two defensive players that were probably the best rookie defensive players
no.
in their line. And then you have Stafford. You know how Stafford gets down. And Cup Cup had terrible games to end the season, but Cup is still Cup. And you know what that boy Puka does. and then you have Kyron Williams back there. But again, who knows who comes out? Because the Vikings, they put it all in to the regular season. Sam Darnold, Jettas, Addison, Aaron Jones, they went all out. That defense was making plays week in, week out.
Mhm.
But what if their story comes to an end against LA, the Rams, after all the fires that are happening in LA right now? You know what I mean? The storyline is there, you know?
Yeah.
The
Storyline.
Rams, pull off the upset. And then the rematch, we all remember that rematch of the Rams and Lions that came down
Crazy
to the
game.
wire.
Crazy game.
If we get a rematch of that game, I could see it. I could see it. So, again, if the Rams win, I guess they go to Detroit, correct? Unless there's another upset from a lower seed. And then we have the Eagles going into the winner of,
It's basically whoever wins that game is going to the Lions.
yeah,
Because Dan Campbell said it to KOC after the game. He's
see you
like,
next week.
see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So like whoever wins this game is going to Ford Field. And
Yeah.
I see the Vikings doing it, man.
You see
Like
the Vikings?
I see the Vikings doing it. Like hey,
Yeah,
Dan Campbell knows what he's talking about, and that offense is
it's
just
true.
the offense to me is just too well run.
I
And
know Darnold concerns me though. What I was seeing
I
from
yes.
Darnold in that final game, I'm like, this looks like the Jets Darnold. I remember this guy.
Yes, it was a playoff atmosphere game and he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah,
But I'm happy that like he's still playing in good weather
yeah,
and that he's in like he went to USC, games in
hmm
LA. So I feel like
hmm
he'll feel comfortable there, you know?
yeah. You're right.
And I also feel like their receiving duo is better than the Rams receiving duo.
Mm.
So it
We
is
gonna
close,
see.
obviously,
Yeah.
but I think they definitely clear.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I I'm
Okay.
gonna I'm gonna go I'm gonna go with the Vikings winning that game,
Yeah.
but I am gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles
hmm
poses the biggest threat to the Detroit Lions
Yeah.
just because it seems like all three phases for them are going well. And I like a dogfight, man. I like a
Yeah.
dogfight. Nick Sirianni, real turned up coach, Dan
Yeah.
Campbell, real turned up with his decision making.
Yeah. That'll be a good game. That'll be a
I
great
think
game.
that would be a
Yeah.
great game. I think that makes
100%.
sense. You never know what we get, but I do hope we get that game. Let's get into the games tonight, though.
Yeah.
We got the Texans hosting the Los Angeles Chargers,
hmm
and I think the Chargers are actually a favorite in this game.
Yeah. They're the 2.5. I think it's down to
Yeah,
two
yeah,
and a
yeah.
half.
Chargers
Yeah.
are a favorite in this game.
Yeah.
Are you rolling with the Chargers? How are you feeling about this?
This one's tricky because I do want to take the home team in Houston.
And
Just
both of these teams have losing records against playoff teams.
yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think the coaching might edge out in this one. So I'm gonna go with Harbaugh. I'm gonna go with the Chargers to win this one. Yeah.
Okay.
CJ Stroud, the offensive line just been shaky all year. He lost a lot of his weapons. No
Yeah.
Tank, no Diggs. I don't know. Maybe Houston's defense balls out, but I'm gonna go with the Chargers in a
Okay.
close one.
I'm going with Texans. I'm going with
Okay.
Texans. They're at home. Dirk Stingley,
Yeah.
all pro first team.
Yeah.
I think he takes care of
They
lad.
have a defense.
I
They
think
have
he
yeah,
takes,
they have
yes, they have a defense, and I think
yeah.
you have an all pro like that. And I don't know if you remember that pick he had on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill
hmm
caught the ball and then on the way down, just ripped that out of Tyreek's hands. Derek
Yeah.
Stingley, probably one of the better picks this year. I
Yeah.
think he takes care of lad. And then after that, can Justin Herbert depend on those guys? And they haven't
Yeah, that's the
proven
thing.
it.
That's the thing.
You
That's the
know,
thing.
like we hope a guy like Palmer can do his thing, but he's
Or
not a volume
Quinton, yeah.
receiver,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And then you can't depend on Quinton.
A
You can't. You can't. You
man
can't.
like Quinton? No way.
So I'm gonna go with the Texans in this game.
Okay.
Uh
Okay.
Ravens, obviously, they're gonna be without Zay Flowers. They
hmm
host the Steelers. And we mentioned like you can't sometimes rest these guys. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't sometimes play these guys all the time. Unfortunate injury for Zay Flowers, but I don't think it matters. I think
hmm
we know what LJ has, and we know what King Henry has. Those guys, there's just gonna be too much to handle, and I
hmm
think they're gonna cover the spread also. They're 9-point favorites. I think they
Okay,
cover the
blow
spread.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Ravens as well. Low scoring game, but I think it's going to be one of those games where it's like 17-6 probably. So the cover is there.
Yeah. So we got a 33 games for tomorrow.
Yep.
We're gonna start with the first one. Von Miller, he's gonna face his old team where he won his first Super Bowl.
Hmm.
What's the temperature looking like with Von Miller? You know he comes back for the playoffs. That's what he does now. He's at that stage of his career.
Yep.
So you think he makes another step towards another Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think he does. And like I said, the Bills are the biggest threat to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I think the Bills win this one, but I think it'll be